Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on...
This building holds just north of 80,000, and they have come out in very good numbers today at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the Baltimore Ravens and the Washington Redskins. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football and blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. On the counter, Elliott. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Operating from the gun, King. He may try and run for this. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. On 2nd down, Elliott. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs, because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
This pass finds its way to Williams, and he's going to get this inside the 30. 17 yards that time and a Washington first.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? The numbers for Zeke from last week. 16 carries, 59 yards.
And give him a ton of credit. He's running the ball really well. But I look at those guys up front. That unit is truly playing as just that. Every move that they make, their teammate understands what that move means and what they need to do. And right now, they're starting to grind it out pretty well.
It's a first down for the Redskins on a pickup of 11.
59, check, 59. Watch the run. They're running.
A first down carry by Elliott. He juked him. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
3 yards on the gain. They're going to need to do better on this next play. It'll be 3rd and 12. They'll try to capitalize on play number 11 of this opening drive. 3rd and goal. King from the gun. He'll throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
And the kick by Elliott is good. And it's 3-0 as the Redskins strike first. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So now the Ravens getting ready for their first go on offense. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
It's our field. It's our field.
2nd and 6. He rifles one that's intercepted. Desmond King picks it. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not... One of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They run the counter. It's Elliott, and he gets it down to the 32.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does? It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
He lost 6 there on the first down play. To throw on 2nd down. King. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. King. He's got a man. It's Williams. And they move this all the way down to the 9. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal. One man in the backfield. That's Elliott on 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Redskins. Ezekiel Elliott. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax up the score.
Now this throw caught left side. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there with his 16th touchdown of the year as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a bead on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action, and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Elliott running right. And an alley to run. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 43. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. This is Elliott. Jamal Adams coming up from his safety spot to make the play. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They stay on the ground. This time it's Michel. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 22 yards there, a first down.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that on that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal. Here's King, operating from the gun, sliding out of the... And he will score! Touchdown, Washington! Taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further.
That's a tough one there defensively because look at the stops they got on 1st and 2nd down, and it's 1st and 2nd and goal. And then on 3rd down, they cover the receivers, but they leave an alley open for him to find, and he does. That is frustrating. You do almost everything right, and he still ends up in the end zone.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Let's go.
And now here come the Ravens. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
A pass there over the middle to start things out. And they work this well upfield across the 45. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now we'll throw here to his running back. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. He got 29 yards that time. in Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Looking to throw. Love. And that'll be incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. 12 yards the pick up there, good for a Raven first.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. He pick up another first down with that run.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, Fred Warner, right there on the coverage. Throwing on 3rd and long. Love. Yeah, that one going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
A second quarter score from down in Houston. And the early going, it's the Texans out in front. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know. Defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
That was a nice catch, but unable to stay in bounds. And remember, it wasn't a wide receiver who works on that all the time.
I was going to say, he likes to get the ball handed to him. Now, don't get me wrong, he's part of the passing game as well, but maybe a little out of his comfort zone there.
Yeah, he might want to have a few words to say to us about that later, but I am still going with you on that one. Wide receivers work on a little bit more.
12 yards to pick up there, good for a Raven first. On 1st down, Love. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. They'll run on 1st down. Donnelly, and they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to 2nd and 10. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a 1st down. Looking to throw. Love. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. An 18-yard touchdown grab as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game.
I don't think it's any state secret to know what they were saying before the start of this drive. Let's go and punch one in the end zone and go into the halftime feeling a heck of a lot better about ourselves. Let's go get this done.
Yeah, tie things up, and then you got a brand new ball game. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded at the 8. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first. That one definitely helps as they try to push the ball down the field here, trailing early in the third quarter.
And even though they're trailing, not abandoning the running game. People may call it an adjustment. I think it's just much more sticking to what works for you and continuing to have faith in it. And the running game is starting to pay off.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Credit the sack to Vita Vea. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins 33. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Love. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd. 7th play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8. From the gun. Love. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins 14.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you down.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Ravens have taken the lead. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point, because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So now we look at the Redskins offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be third down. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. Back to throw. King. He gets this one to Johnson. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up fourth.
Now, that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
Fielded just inside the 20. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field.
On the double. Mike 54.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Taron Johnson made the stop. It's rare that a man his size can't at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about tiny? You're talking about the little guy back there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
And the Redskins have an extra man in the secondary here on third. Operating from the gun, Love. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
Yeah, that is much too long. That's into the end zone for
field now with the game this close. You got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now, but they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
King now looking to throw on second down, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the third quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
A running play on first down, and it turns into a fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Malik Jefferson in there on the stop. To throw on second down. Love. Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 20-yard line. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19. Looking to throw on second down. Love. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Credit the sack to Fred Warner.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
Throwing on third and long. Love. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Looking to throw. King, complete. It's Johnson. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that'll bring up a third down. To throw is King. Off play action. He can run for it, and he will. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, get some 9 yards and a first. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now King from the gun, he'll throw. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. They were looking for Johnson that time, but it'll be 2nd down. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. King throwing again. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 22-yard line. This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Looking for the and this would have been intercepted if he could have gotten the feet in. He didn't, so it's incomplete. Boy, that one really could have turned this thing upside down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. King. It's Williams on the catch. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 68 yards receiving now for him in the game. And a first down on that last catch as well.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage. And that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead end.
Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Hassan Reddick leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. From the pistol, here's Elliott. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down. Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. Here's King operating from the gun. And that is incomplete. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
He finds his man Johnson. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal. One man in the backfield, that's Elliott on 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard. A little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Gonna throw on 3rd and goal. And this is taken in for a Redskins touchdown. Miles Boykin. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Redskins are going to retake the lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown. Well, that decision to me was all about pulling up the chart. You know, that beautiful chart that tells you when to go for 2, when to go for 1. I do love it. It helps you with your decision-making during heated times. And just look at it right here in this point of the game. Go for 2. Try and make it a field goal difference.
But now just up 1 makes the rest of this fourth quarter a little more interesting.
Yeah, they followed the chart. They just didn't get the 2 points on the board, did they?
Nope. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 12 yards to pick up there, good for a Raven first. Well, that's a good first step, but several steps still to go.
They still have time for the possible game-winning field goal. Time for them to be quick and hurry at the same time.
He's back to throw. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Back to throw. The open man is Smith. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. They'll look to throw. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the 4th. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Connects with Kittle underneath, and he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. The Redskins now going to use the 1st of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
We can't be totally sure that that was by design, but we do know that a lot of kickers like the ball on the right hash in order to kick the field goal.
And his kick is good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. So he's able to come through in a hostile environment, and you'd have to imagine that's the game winner.
Yeah, how about that? And the way that this game's gone, you think they really wanted to get to overtime and take their chances there? They wanted to get this thing done. When you're the visitor, you don't want to play into overtime. You want to knock it down, get it done, and go home.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Look at the clock. Everyone knows the situation. Probably time here for one final play.
And we know what that play is going to be. It's got to be some sort of Hail Mary, throwing it towards the end zone and hoping someone can catch it or catch it off of a tip. Think back to 2015. Didn't we see Green Bay pull that off twice in the season? Once in the regular season, once in the playoffs. So stranger things have happened. It'll be interesting to see what the defensive strategy is about who they put on the field to try and knock that ball away.
Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering.